Welcome to the Innovation World podcast, your go-to source for all things innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. Our website is www.innovationworld.org.
Welcome to the Innovation World podcast series. My name is Julie Shively, and I'm the founder of Innovation World and the co-founder of the Global Innovation Field Trip. And we're here today with my co-host, Jake Mendelson, who is the founder of Invent Future Global and the co-founder of the Global Innovation Field Trip. Say hi, Jake.
Hello, this is very exciting. I'm very excited to be here. You know, we always get a chance to meet some really incredible young people and people who are going to make a difference in the world. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, as well am I. I think that the person that we're talking with tonight, we met through the National Innovator Challenge run by Hewitt Publishing, or Hewitt Learning, I'm sorry. And they were one of the top innovators and advanced up to earn other things, but including this podcast. And I think that they're moving on to the Global Innovation Challenge, which we'll talk about briefly in a few minutes as well. Should they ever get their application completed anyway, then they'll be at it. So she knows I'm teasing her right now, but it's okay. She'll probably hear it a couple more times before we end this podcast too. So one announcement I would like to make is the Global Innovation Field Trip is happening October 14, 15, 2023. And this is a wonderful opportunity for young innovators and program leaders from around the world to present what they're working on, talk about their innovation stories, share the work they're doing in their classroom, really whatever innovative work you have to share, we'd love to hear it. And so would our global audience. We actually have about 63 countries now that are involved in this program. So you never know who's watching from where. But you can be assured that whoever is watching, they're interested in listening to what you have to say. So it's a 24-hour online multi-country celebration of youth innovation from around the world. And all you have to do to sign up is go to globalinnovationfieldtrip.org, and there's a button you can click on that sign up to be a presenter, or you can click on a button that says, I want to watch the field trip. And so you would click on that on October 14th or 15th. And even though this is on a podcast, so I don't know when you'll be listening to it, we do these once a quarter. There's a Global Innovation Field Trip in January, April, July, and every October. So if you missed the one in 2023 in October, that's okay, because there's one coming up in 2 or 3 months from that. So Jake, I think you wanted to wait, I know what you're going to say.
This is so exciting, Julie. This is a wonderful opportunity for young people. What does it cost to present?
I knew you were going to catch me on that.
Well, but you always forget to say it.
I know I do. It doesn't cost anything to be a participant on the Global Innovation Field Trip. Just your time, and that's all it takes. So, Jake, what do you want to tell us about the Global Innovation Challenge that's coming up soon?
This is wonderful. I think you had mentioned the National Innovation Challenge that occurred. In fact, our presenter today, Sonia, that we're going to talk to, was part of that program, and she won some awards at the U.S. National. And then what's after that? Well, what's after that is the Global Innovation Challenge, and Sonia was invited to participate in that. She hasn't registered yet, so she may not actually be in that program until she registers. But this is a wonderful chance for students around the world who've achieved recognition at their national level now to move on to a global level. And it'll be very exciting. And hopefully, maybe we'll see Sonia there.
Poor Sonia.
Sorry, the deadline. Sonia, when is the deadline for registration?
The 10th.
10th of September.
No, that's for everybody else. For Sonia, the deadline is the 1st. Right?
Yes. I'll get it done this weekend.
She knows we're teasing her. We know you'll get it done. We've done this to every if you go back and listen to the last 4 or 5 podcasts we've done this to every student who hasn't got it registered. But you know what? Like within the next 24 hours, they all register, so it works. The really cool thing about the Global Innovation Challenge this year is we're trying something new. We're actually going to live stream through the Global Innovation Field Trip the judging circles that will happen near the end of the program. So October 5th, 14th and 15th, we'll have different spots in there where students will come on who are part of that challenge, and the judges will be there, and they'll do their thing in front of everybody. And it's just super cool, and we can't wait. It's an exciting opportunity for the people around the world to watch what really goes on in one of these challenges and watch these brilliant students and what they've done. It's just incredible. All right. I think we're ready to move on to our guest today. So all we're going to tell you is her name is Sonia, and she's going to tell you a lot of other things. She'll tell you who she is, where she's from, and she's going to start talking about this really cool thing that she has come up with that I think hopefully we'll all see out in the medical world in just a short number of years. Sonia, it's yours.
As Julie mentioned, my name is Sonia Patel, and I'm a rising senior, and I attend high school in Florida. Besides research, I really love playing the piano and golfing. So back to my invention. So I invented the corneal alpination scleral buckling model. Alpination is just another fancy term for checking eye pressure to determine glaucoma, a disease that leads to irreversible blindness. I first came across the idea when I discovered my grandfather was diagnosed with glaucoma. My invention sprouted as an idea to facilitate training for ophthalmic technicians who lack a synthetic eye model. Working with 3D and resin printers, as well as various types of resins, has evolved a sketch into a physical model. Now I'm currently consulting for a patent.
How big is it? Is it the size of a regular eye?
So great question. Yes. So it perfectly mimics the human eye and contains the same properties, such as like the flexibility, but materials are also limited because I have to work with what my school has offered. So I've currently been trying to seek other materials and other silicones that are more optically clear, so that way I can best replicate a human eye and add additional features that will allow the surgeons to practice checking other conditions to determine other diseases, and then also practicing their suturing skills.
So you mentioned that this is to help physicians or surgeons practice. What are they doing right now? I'm afraid to know the answer.
So currently, well, as residents, in order to perform the scleral buckling surgery, they either have a simulator, but most residency programs actually don't really have simulators because they vary from $100,000 to $200,000. So they have access to pig and cow eyes, but that only occurs every so often in a wet lab day. And currently for measuring glaucoma with a tonopen or a Goldman alpination, they are kind of practicing on patients.
That's what I was afraid you were going to say. I'm assuming live patients, not cadaver patients.
Yep.
Okay, so there's clearly a need. So in looking at the expense, I mean, I know you probably can't have a finite cost for this right now, since you don't know what material in the end that you will use. But do you have any idea on some ballpark number compared to the cost of what's available today as to what your product would be?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like some models will range from like $300 to like $500, like something outrageous. And then also you have the simulator, which is like $100,000 to $200,000. So a really nice car. So essentially, I've actually interviewed or discussed with local physicians in my area, and they agreed to receive the device for $80, which is actually a really good price, as it's easily affordable for residents and then also for physicians to train their ophthalmic assistants.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that dollar amount?
$80.
$80. That's incredible. That would be life transforming for the surgeons in this area, and just to be able to have something like that they can take home and just spend time actually practicing on, or doing it in their labs or wherever they want to do it. That's incredible. So what do you need? I know you don't have the materials at school. Is it somebody that specializes in the materials? Is it somebody that specializes in 3D printing? Who is it that is the right person to help you, or the right kind of organization to help you take this a little bit further?
So currently with a 3D printer, since it's me working on it and not necessarily like a professional, and also like the types of 3D printers, like they can vary from their quality. So the ones that like 3D printing manufacturing facilities are like high end versus like the ones that I'm currently working with. Like the filaments that I'm also using, they won't necessarily print like very fine or it will essentially output like sometimes a pile of filament, which is useless, instead of the actual mold that I've wanted to output with the CAD prototype that I put inside. So maybe it would be nice to work with some 3D printer experts, but also with finding the right material. The thing is that I'm trying to look for something that's optically clear while also flexible. And the same goes for the base of the eye, which is currently resin printed. And so that can be more flexible. And it just really depends on the materials that I'm experimenting with. I need to find like the right balance. So something that's not too flexible, so that way the person using the model can actually replicate the same procedure as they would on a normal human eye. So it wouldn't be too squishy. The sutures wouldn't go in at such like a hard rate. It'd be nice and smooth.
So you're using the 3D printer to make a mold, and then you're pouring in some product to make. So you mentioned silicone. Are you using silicone rubber?
So currently, yes, I've been using silicone,
Okay.
but the silicone hasn't been as optically clear as I would like to be. It's currently cloudy, which is not the best because a normal human eye is optically clear. But I have discussed this with the local physicians who have said that while that is a limit, the flexibility is there, which is necessary and is quite essential for the ophthalmic assistants and the residents to train on. So that's what matters.
Have you contacted silicone manufacturers? I'm thinking specifically, I know of General Electric. They have a silicon products department in Waterford, New York. And if you contact them and say, hi, I'm working on this project, I need some really clear silicone, they have a huge variety of silicone rubbers that they make.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into them.
Yeah,
Is all silicone pliable?
it depends. They can, yes. The answer is yes if you want it to be. And that's why I'm saying they have.
So really the mold then, the 3D printing isn't the issue, it's what she's pouring into it, right?
Yes, but she needs the mold to be of good
But you
quality.
can already, okay.
But there, you don't have to buy the printer. I mean, there are companies that have that quality printers, and you send them the STL file, and they will print it. I mean, they're going to charge you, but they'll print it whatever quality you want. But I would also contact, like I said, contact General Electric and but just don't call them and go, hi, do you have anything clear? Tell them who you are, because then they're going to be much more excited about, dealing with you and helping you. Oh, wow, you've got, this wonderful student. To do that.
Okay, I will.
Waterford, New York.
That sounds like a great idea. And if you don't get anywhere with that, let us know, because one thing I do know because of working in the innovation field, I know a lot of people who work with a lot of different manufacturers, and they may be able to put out the question as well as to a silicone that is going to dry for you more clearly, and at least get that information back to you. So let me know, or let us know if you don't find the answer from General Electric.
Okay,
Who else
thank
would
you
be
so
out there
much.
other than General Electric, Jake?
Oh, there are some other companies, but GE I know has a wide variety. I mean, Dow Corning makes a number of silicones.
Yeah, I think I reached out to Dow. They were receptive, but I haven't really heard back from them recently. Um, yeah, I mean, we started a conversation and got somewhere, but it really didn't really progress from there.
Sonia, let me explain something. if you call up a company, okay, they're going to connect you to the sales department, and you say, hi, I'm a high school student. I've got this idea, and the salesperson doesn't want to talk to you because what are they going to sell you? $20 worth of stuff. That they're not going to do that. What you do is you write to the general manager, you write to the president of the company, okay, and you say, I'm doing this. I'd love to use your product. This is going to be a really great thing. It's using your product. That person will then go down to the sales department and say, here, help her, make her happy. And that's what you have to do. So start at the top.
Okay.
So this particular device that you've created is for a specific eye problem. Do you think that you can create something similar for other eye problems and or other organs or parts, based on what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I've been working on trying to adapt my current eye model to help with training for how to suture for other procedures. So one that I was thinking of was corneal transplants, which is particularly prevalent amongst first responders, especially firefighters, because of the debris that they encounter.
Oh.
So making sure that that procedure is done well and exceptionally well is quite crucial.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So when you have a model finished, are you suturing? Are you trying to work on it to see how it feels and whether it seems right? And if so, how are you comparing that to a human eye? Because I'm assuming you have not been doing that on any dogs or cows or pigs or humans yourself. So how do you get a sense for it's right?
Yeah, so I've actually been giving the eye model to local eye physicians to test because they know the consistency that it needs to be at.
Okay. Well, that's good that you're working on it and not me, because I wouldn't find all these solutions probably.
Yeah.
So are these local doctors people who have performed the surgeries before, so they have a real sense for what they're looking for this model to do for them?
Yes.
Okay.
Very
This
good.
is pretty incredible. So this is because your grandfather had issues, yes?
Yes, he's
Okay.
diagnosed with glaucoma. And then I attended an ASRS meeting, which is a retina conference, where I met two residents where they were having issues with finding synthetic models in order to train for scleral locking surgery, which is how I got the idea to add on to my previous model and create a silicone sclera around the eye. And this way, that creates a silicone pad for them to suture anywhere they want and practice however they want.
And what do you what do you plan to do beyond this, Sonia? Are you going to be in the field of medicine related to eyes? Or are you is this a one-off invention for you, or do you think you're going to keep working on solutions for the medical field?
So I haven't exactly decided yet. I really, as I am a rising senior, I've leaned more towards since I've gone to a couple of biomedical camps, I really found a passion for biomedical engineering or potentially bioengineering. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to go into the medical profession yet, but I still have room to decide.
And you always have time to change as well. I mean, people reinvent themselves their entire lifetime. So this will always be background experience for you, no matter what you decide to do. It's a great thing that you've decided to do, and I wish you well with it. And I hope that if there's anything else we can do for you, you do reach out and ask. If nothing else, we do know a lot of people that work in the manufacturing and the prototype business. So we're always happy to try to connect you to somebody new, especially if you can't get anywhere with GE or somebody else who is currently creating or building things out of silicone. I'm sorry, I lost my words for a minute. So You have any other questions, Jake?
No. But you have a question, don't you, Julie?
I do have a question. I love to ask this question. I can't wait to hear what your answer is. I ask this of all of our young guests because I think it's really insightful and tells me a lot about the person. If you could go to lunch with anybody in the world, living or not living, who would that be and why?
That's a great question. So one person that I would love to ask to lunch would be Jane Goodall. So I recall watching her documentaries of her work in awe of what she had accomplished. And she was very courageous and persevered working with chimpanzees while immersed in Tanzania. So her work is novel and inspiring to a young researcher like me. Interacting with Miss Goodall at that lunch would provide insight as to how she overcame challenges, persisted with her research, corrected scientists' misconceptions of chimpanzees. And then from our conversation, I could improve my device to help many other ophthalmic technicians with other challenges that they face.
Wow. Great answer. I would love to meet her too. That would be fabulous. And I know that she probably had a lot of challenges and still does. Well, listen, Sonia, I wish you the best. I hope to see this out in the market before I need it or before I need that type of surgery, because now for anything I go to have done at the in a eye surgeon's office, I'm going to ask them how many other times they did this on a real person, since I know they don't have too much opportunity to practice on anybody else or anything else right now. So thank you so much, and please let us know how we can help you in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate.
You're welcome. Okay, so that wraps it up for the Innovation World podcast series for today. I would like to thank my co-host Jake Mendelson, Sonia Patel, and remind you all that Global Innovation Field Trip is coming up soon. It's always coming up soon. It's every quarter. So please reach out to globalinnovationfieldtrip.org to learn more. And for those of you who are interested in following the Global Innovation Challenge, which is a challenge for apps, ideas, and prototypes, go to inventfuture.global and check out the information there, and then join us at the October 14-15 gift field trip to watch student competitors live. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today for the Innovation World podcast. Innovation World is your go-to source for all things innovation, invention, and entrepreneurship. Our website is www.innovationworld.org.